Podcast. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Elitists Podcast. I'll explain it to you later, Rise, but we've had a sort of reset. I think I talked about it, but either way, this is the StarCraft 2 interview show. This is Face the Nation, or Meet the Press, for this awesome community. My name is Tristan, and tonight we've got Rise, YouTube commentator, old friend of the old show. Glad to have him back.
Glad to be here. But hold on one second, let me close my door. My dogs are fighting.
Okay. Either ways, let's get to know you a little bit better, because obviously since the show is rebooted, we've had to put together a brand new audience. Rise is a YouTube commentator. He's been associated with many different websites, most of the time YouTube, but also you have been doing work for the new up-and-coming coaching website, Gosu Coaching, yes?
Yeah, Gosu Coaching is actually an awesome site to be affiliated with. You know, there are a bunch of guys who really care about the scene and furthering it and esports in general, because they're trying to make a livelihood off of it. And a lot of people kind of like give them flack for it. Honestly, a lot of times, let's be honest, I think a lot of people are jealous that they're either not part of it or didn't think of it. But they got a lot of balls putting out themselves and basically trying to make a living out of it, and I think it's all good stuff. So I'm happy to be alongside them, promoting them as best I can, basically, because I think it's important for esports and for StarCraft 2 in general to have this sort of thing going on.
Okay, just did a little tweak in my mic volume. So, what do you do for SC2? Or sorry, not SC2GG. That's old news. What do you do for Gosu Coaching now?
Well, in general, what I try to do is put together a decent amount of content in terms of whether it be replay commentaries on YouTube, or sometimes I'll do some sort of cast for them, whether it's the Gosu Coaching Showdown that they were doing, sponsored by Havad Khan, you know, the $150 best of 9 show match, basically, that we were doing. If I'm up late enough, I'll do the Wednesday night Gosu Coaching Cup that they do, but it's done for like Pacific Coast time, so I usually can't catch it. But definitely, I try to do as many casts for them as possible in general, and when possible, I promote them like crazy, basically, and I talk about them as much as I can, because again, important stuff to talk about and good for the community at large.
Now, the last time you were on, we talked, I think the StarCraft 2 beta had been going for like 2 weeks or something like that. It's been a bit more time and a lot more stuff has happened. How have you responded to just the ridiculous amount of content that has come out focused around such a new game?
Well, it's pretty crazy to think of, you know, for 2 years I had 5,000 subscribers, and that was a good number. You know, it was like, wow, 5,000, not bad. You know, they're definitely one of the better well-known YouTube commentators, especially for the amount of videos that I put out, which was kind of pathetic now that I think about it. But since StarCraft 2 came out, you know, it's only been a few months, two months, I guess, at best, and you know, that's more than doubled at this point. So clearly there's a lot of people interested in this sort of thing. It's amazing how many money tournaments are in for a beta game. It's crazy when you think about it, that people are literally putting out prize money for a game that hasn't even been released yet. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of patches happening, and there's a lot to keep track of. A lot of new players from the Warcraft 3 scene, from Civilization, from World of Warcraft, all over the place. And so it makes it really interesting, because it definitely feels like it's booming, and there's always something new going on to discover for both the players, the commentators, and the fans. And it's just a fun place to be right now, a fun thing to be a part of, watching a game that's got so much just love for it already, when again it's not even released yet. Makes things a lot of very exciting for me to be a part of.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of money tournaments, actually last week we interviewed 2 other commentators, the double team of HD StarCraft and Husky StarCraft, and they're the ones doing the huge, I think it was $2,500 prize pool tournament for a game in beta.
Yep. Yep, that's some crazy stuff right there. And as far as I know, they have a sponsor. I don't know who, but basically, you know, that's awesome. Once again, you know, anything that furthers the game, in my opinion, is good for the community. And it may sound like a crazy amount of money, and it really is for a game in beta, but it hopefully means that there'll be a lot more to come after that. The only thing that I worry about that is I know it's still running, and hopefully they finish everything before the beta ends, which is
we were
going to be
talk
scary stuff.
That. Another thing, Rise. Gosu Coaching has also put their foot forward with a bunch of tournaments. As you said, they've got the show matches once a week. They put up a $100 open season tournament, so anyone can sign up for it. And on top of that, and I think this is the best thing they're doing for the community, is their Silver Stars tournament. A small-time tournament for all you guys in silver and below leagues, and the prize is actually free coaching, which is awesome.
I agree. It's one of those things where people think that a lot of times at a site like this is trying to rip people off. Let's face it. That's the first knee-jerk reaction that a lot of people have. And you'll find, though, that a lot of the people who have actually done the lessons have been really happy with it. QXC himself, you know, the guy who's winning these platinum level tournaments, is still paying for lessons with In Control, all right? And I mean, he's played In Control at the top highest level imaginable, and he is continuing to go with lessons with guys from GosuCoaching.com at this point because he finds it that effective. And that alone is one of those things that's like, wow. I mean, QXC, he's a big name. Everybody knows it of him at this point. He's like the American server TLO. Very fun guy to watch. And you know, the fact that him and all these other players are taking advantage of GosuCoaching.com just speaks volumes about what it's actually about. And the players who win Silver Stars, you know, you can't. First off, there's no reason to ever offer money in a tournament like that because someone can just get a beta key easily enough at this point, get an account to like Copper, just lose purposely all your matches, and then just steal whatever prize money there is. And we feel that the Silver Stars tournament, the prize being free coaching, is both the most beneficial from the standpoint of advertising for us, of course, as well as for the people participating. Because if you're a silver or below, let's face it, you're not that good of a StarCraft 2 player yet. Yeah, you're getting better, but certainly you can benefit a lot if you can win that tournament and then get some 2 hours of coaching or whatever they end up giving you for, you know, one day on the weekend. And it's amazing just what you'll learn from 2 hours.
I gotta say, I'm also a student too, and I've moved up at least 2 leagues through 2 lessons, so...
That's awesome. Awesome to hear.
Guess who my coach is? Go!
What race are you? Oh, Machine, that's right.
Yeah, Mr. Bryce Bates is my coach, yes.
Cool.
Okay, how about let's go to your YouTube channel. I know you've been running a lot of things. First thing that I have noticed that I really like that you did over the other StarCraft 2 commentators when they first went into the scene, you didn't just go, these are my games, I'm going to record 800 of just my 1v1s and things like that. There was a lot of people who were doing that, and I was just kind of turned off. You went right for the money. You got yourself, I don't know if you were affiliated before or you were friends with before, but you got right into EG and you were recording their games, and then you've gotten your camera into all sorts of really big games, like that big 2v2 game you had between 2 members of EG. I think it was In Control and LZ, and then they played 2 top Warcraft 3 players. And
yep. Yeah, that was definitely a little bit of, you know, good timing and good just place to be for me. I met a lot of the EG guys over at the WCG Invitational and at the finals in New York City. So I actually got a chance to get to know some of the guys, which was awesome. And I started hanging out with them on Vent. And they're all really a good group of guys, and they just love the game. You know, they love to get better. They love to win. They're competitive. And with the advent of GosuCoaching.com, it was definitely one of those things where it made sense to approach them for replays. And of course, being at the top of the game in StarCraft 1, these guys started out at the top of the game in StarCraft 2. I mean, if anyone watched Louder, he went like 102. He only lost to David Kim when David Kim was beating people, and because David Kim has been playing the game for years. And you know, the fact of the matter is they were literally the best guys to get replays from at the time, especially. So I definitely took advantage of that. I wanted to show people what could be done and not just what I can do. I mean, I'm a platinum player, but I am not a #1 platinum player. I do not care to be a #1 platinum player. Actually, I would if I could, but I just don't have the time to play that many games. So what I figured I can give is a high-level view of what the real #1, not only #1 platinum players, but high ELO players are doing. Because, of course, there's a difference between just being #1 in Division 95 versus, you know, #1 ELO across all the divisions. And these guys definitely are at the top of those brackets. So I was hoping to bring some really competitive feel to the games that I was presenting to the community.